Now next we are going to talk about the sequential. In sequential, basically we have three concepts. So opening the file means creating a file, then going for reading and the writing into the file, then closing the file. It's very simple. Mostly it is a three steps there. So flowchart is very simple. We start, open the file, read or write the data, close the file, stop. Now, what is opening a file? Means whenever we want to store our data from primary memory to a file we have created, then we have to open the file. Just like before we start reading a book, we have to turn over the pages, means we have to open the book. It is just like that. So before we start storing data, first what we have to do there, we have to open a file. And to open a file, we have to use some statement, and that statement is here. So open, mostly first we use open and then uh, we use that uh, file name. So you can see example, first open, then the file name, and then we have to give the for what we want to open that file, like storing or the reading or the appending, and this is the file number. This is also called channel number, so we have to give it here. So that is a simple syntax. So opening file name, so what is the mode, so output or input or the append, and as means with what file number we want to open that. It's very simple. So mostly mode, it can be inputting, means we are going to read the data, output means we are going to store the data, append means our file contains some data and we want to add some more data, so that's called append. It is as appending data at the end of file. So that's all. And the file name, it can be an integer expression between this 1 to 255. It's like 1 2 3 we can give them, it's a number. uh, Here is the meaning of mode. I just said that output means we are going to store the data. For output we can also write O inside the double quote, means create a file and start storing data in that file. It is also store that data from the beginning of file. So input means start reading data from the opened file, means we have one data file and that data file contains some records. That data we want to read that, then we have to open the file in this mode, input or I. Next is the append. So append simply says that our file contains some data, start adding some more data at the end of file. That is called EOF. It's very simple concept. So output O means creating new file, input means open the existing file, append means open the existing file. Here is the example. Open student.dat. So this is the name of file. Dat means data file. For means for what purpose we want to open that. Input output, we have to put it here. Then as channel number. That's all. Then start, we have to store the data in this. So here is another example to append data. This one append. So similarly, if we want to read the data, then we have to use this one, start the date for input channel. And there is also an alternative syntax of the open statement. So what is that? We can use the open, yes, then O means output mode, then the channel number, then the file name. Yes, means we don't need to put here for. In previous there was for, look here, open, file name, then for, then the mode, then the channel number. Whereas here we don't need to put anything here, just we have to put open, then O means output mode, I means input mode. And look here, this mode first we have to put inside the double quote, inverted comma, then as we don't need to put here, then channel number comes, then this file name it goes at the last. Yes, it's very simple. So open O dot I dot A dot. That's all. Now, so how to store data? So let's go for that. uh, First we have to open a file. Look here. So in output mode, that is to store data, inputting data from here. Yes, and after inputting, what happens? We have to use the write command. Write statement we can say that with the channel number. We can also use the print to store this all the input data to the data file. So write is a statement, and what it does, it takes all those input data and stores in the opened file. And what is the syntax of this write? Syntax of write is a file number, then the expression list. Means it may contain some variables, whatever we want to use that. Here is the example. It's very simple. It's write channel number, then all the variables. We can also use the print channel number, the list of all the variables. So same thing is written here. We can put the comma, the double quote. So instead of write using write, we can also use a print to store our data. Same syntax is a channel number and the name of variables. The print statement, you put some spaces instead of comma. Yes, put some spaces instead of comma between each field. Values and internal include the string values by double quotes. And you do not put the whereas write, it puts that. We'll see both the statements using print and write. After that, writing what happens, we have to close the file. Yes, we have to close the file. And how to close that? We have to use the close statement command and the channel number. So here is the example. Syntax with the example. Close channel number 1, 2, 2. So if all the arguments are omitted, all open file are closed. If we don't put these on, then what happens? It automatically closes the file. File number is the number of an open file. So this and the while opening the file, it must be same. Looks like this one. If we don't put this one, then what would happen there? It closes all the open files automatically itself. So a very simple example. Now let's go for an example.